Welcome to the Creative Pro podcast, where we help design professionals like you thrive by design. Hi, I'm Theresa Jackson. I'm the Creative Pro program manager, and I'm here today with Mike Rankin, the Creative Pro editor in chief. Hi,
Hi, Theresa.
Mike.
Hey, how you doing?
Thanks for being here.
Hi. Hey, it's awesome to be here.
I am looking forward to this conversation. We talked about this ahead of time, and I said I'm not interviewing you. We're going to have a conversation about what we do at Creative Pro, what it's like being part of the team. So
Absolutely.
I thought I'll start with saying that I'm the new member. I started Creative Pro in January, and it's been amazing. I love being part of this team. You've been a member of Creative Pro for as long as I can remember. How
It
did that
has
start?
been a little while. So I started as editor-in-chief in the spring of 2012. And I could give you the whole backstory to how I even got there if you're interested. But
Sure. Yeah, share that. I don't know that
yeah,
our
so okay,
audience really knows that backstory. You've just
all
been around forever.
right. I know, right? Unlike the furniture, I've been there forever. Um, so reeling it way back. I may even go all the way back to even just how I got started doing this stuff because it's all just one continuous
Sure.
tale. So in 1995, I was at sort of a dead end in my career and needed a new job, new way to make a living. And I sat back and thought, like, well, what do I actually like to do? Like, what do I want to spend time doing? Because whatever I choose, I'm going to spend a lot of time doing it. And I thought, like, when I was in college, I had my first Macintosh, and I really loved in my free time drawing on it, making stuff on it, printing it out, and sharing it with people. And even though I had no formal training in graphic design to that point, I thought that was something I really wanted to look into. And I love technology and computers. So I took a course at a local college here in Quark Express, Photoshop, and Illustrator. Really, really ancient versions. I think it was like Photoshop 2.5 and Quark 3 or something, whatever was
And
out in 19.
InDesign wasn't even a dream at this point.
Not even a sparkle in anyone's eye at Aldus or Adobe. Um, and so I took the course, really loved it, really enjoyed it. And at that point, I was actually so broke, like I really needed rent money. I never even finished the course.
Okay.
Back in those days, they had the job postings that they would tack up on the wall with the little pieces of paper that you tear
Yep.
off and stuff. And so I was walking through there one day, and I saw there was a job posting by an educational publisher in Boston for that exact skill set that I was just learning at the time. So I tore the little piece of paper off, made the phone call, and it was like the 90s. They just needed people. And so I interviewed, got hired, and started freelancing and worked as an illustrator. I did a lot of illustrations for textbooks and medical textbooks and all kinds of nonfiction books mostly, and doing layout and photo work, and freelance for a few years. Eventually got hired full time for a large publisher in Boston, and that's where I worked for 15 years in a whole bunch of different roles. From electronic production manager, I became like the prepress guy in charge of the proofing and print stuff, and the software trainer there.
We
And
have a lot of crossover in our background. It's pretty
yeah,
amazing. I'm a
yeah,
little older. I was uh I was in college taking I was a fine art major. And when I graduated and I needed a job, actually it was before I graduated, I needed a job. So I went to the Career Placement Center, which didn't look like they do today, right? It was corkboard with things pinned to the just like you described. And I
yeah.
went to the section that said fine art, and there was one job, and it was it for a small printer. And I got that job, and that launched my career where I am today. I worked in prepress for years in the early days before we had computers.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So that's a little bit before me, but we were still like when I was doing that stuff, we would get these, large proofs, and we would have to mark them up with wax pencils. It was still film at that point. But just to close the thought about how I got to Creative Pro. So in 2008, I started a blog to just put out my skills and what I knew on the internet that I called Publicious, all about like publishing technology. David Blattner found it, and he
You
read
were
some of this stuff.
discovered.
Hmm.
David discovered you. That's awesome.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's like, "Who's this weirdo writing about InDesign?"
My
And it's like,
kinda guy.
"Yeah,
That's what
right."
he was thinking.
I think he was. So then he invited me to write for InDesign Secrets, and then that led to writing for the magazine, and da 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 da. One thing led to another. So
God, what a
how I
great
got it.
journey it's been.
It's been
So
unbelievable, unbelievable. Yeah.
and here we are now working together. And I before we started recording, I was trying to remember when we met because I it feels like I've known you as long as I've been part of this community.
Hmm.
But you have a memory of when we met.
I do, but it's not specific. I just remember it was at some conference. I don't know if it was Adobe Max or PepCon, but I remember we were walking out of a session and we were just sort of exchanging basic information, stories like "Who are you?" and stuff. And I remember that you had that prepress background, and
Yeah,
that
it's coming
immediately
back
made
to
me
me.
like you. I was like, "Oh, she
Yeah.
understands like this
Yeah,
stuff."
that's
So
coming back to me. I'm pretty sure it was, one of the first Adobe Maxes that I went to.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we've been friends ever since.
yeah,
It's been
and it's
great.
even better now that you're here or
Yeah,
there.
we get to work together.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, so let's, share a little bit about just, like, an insider view of what it's like working for Creative Pro from our perspectives, what we do. Um, you can start. You wear so many hats. I didn't really even know how to describe you, but you're the
Well,
editor in chief of all the
I'll try to edit it down and boil it down to a simple message. So I'm editor in chief of Creative Pro. So that means I'm responsible for the content in Creative Pro Magazine, the creativepro.com website, and the YouTube channel. So those three outlets mainly. Um, and the job itself really, regardless of the output channel, the job itself is the same. It's involves like identifying topics and software workflows that are important that I think our audience and our members need to know about, and then finding the subject matter experts who can actually teach that stuff and communicate it in a really good, engaging way, helping them develop it, and then delivering it on time. So that's my job, regardless of whether it's a PDF magazine, a website, or a YouTube video. It's the same thing, and it
our
is.
roles cross over quite a bit there, and trying to find the subject matter experts to deliver the content that our audience needs to know.
Yeah, that's kind of the most fun part in some ways,
Yeah,
is just the conversations and the things that people teach you. Like you learn so much in these roles,
I love
almost too
being
much.
in a place where it's literally my job to keep learning.
Yeah,
Right? We have to be just open to absorbing everything that we can and have a basic understanding so that we can discern what's the best information that we want to share with our audience. So the magazine used to be InDesign Secrets, right? Now it's Creative Pro Magazine.
yeah, it was InDesign Magazine. People always would call it InDesign Secrets Magazine
Oh,
because
my
that was
bad.
the name. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. But yeah, it was InDesign Magazine, and we took that to a certain point. We got to issue 150, and then we decided it would be a better idea, just for the brand and for the content that we're covering, to just open it up and make it Creative Pro Magazine, so we can cover Photoshop, Illustrator, AI, like anything. And it doesn't just have to all be narrowly about InDesign, because there's so much else to cover that's important.
It doesn't even have to all be about Adobe. And I
Nope,
love that. We're
nope.
much bigger than just what the Adobe tools are. They're a core part of our content, but not all of it. What when did we switch to Creative Pro Magazine? How many
Oh
years
gosh,
ago?
it's almost 4 years now. So we're working on issue 47 of Creative Pro Magazine. So 48 would be 4 years. So 2021 fall. I think November
Man,
21 was the
that
first
went
issue of.
fast.
It goes by so fast. Yeah.
The magazine is going through a bit of a transition right now too. You
Mhm.
wanna share a little bit about the thoughts behind that and what your goals are for it?
Yeah, absolutely. So Going back to the beginning, InDesign Magazine started out as a PDF magazine, obviously focused on InDesign, but the articles in it were all long form written content. And, it's started 21 years ago in the summer of 2004. And if you look back on those early PDFs and you flip through the pages, in some cases, it's just like a wall of text. There's just so much dense content to get through. And it was a different world then, right? In
Mhm.
2004, like we didn't have iPhones, we didn't have social media, we didn't have streaming and all the stuff that people are used to for getting content. It's just so much faster now that people expect answers and content that we made a shift. So we do shorter, more focused articles now. We do more diverse content in the magazine, and we offload some of the learning onto the YouTube channel. So we have videos that can encompass anything, and we'll often reference them in the magazine itself. But a lot of that also is just based on direct feedback that I've gotten over the years from people who read the magazine who say, it's fantastic. I love it, but I don't have time to get through it all. They just don't have time to sit down and read a 4,000 word article. So we
And
have
it's
to
pretty
deliver the content.
depressing to put all that effort into creating something and be told that they're not reading it, right?
Well, at least they started by saying they love it. Like, it's like, okay, that softens a little bit. And, they can always go back and reference it and dip in and out. Like, they don't have to read it from cover to cover kind of thing. So
What kind of feedback have you gotten on the revised? I don't know how to describe that. You have the magazine does look and feel a little bit different recently.
the revamped stuff.
Yeah.
So far, so good. People are positive. One of the things that we've gotten the most positive feedback on is a new feature that we call work week projects, which again are just really focused on being fast, quick hits of information. And it's just like these little 5-minute projects. You do one each day, Monday through Friday, to hopefully get a little bit more efficient, have a little bit more fun, discover some new features, and
Yeah, you love it.
people have liked that.
You
So
had one of the first ones was, create your own custom workspace.
mhm.
Yes. Right. We don't take the time to do that, and we should, because
No,
it saves time down the road.
yeah, it's the old jokes. Like, I don't have enough time to be efficient. It's just like, okay,
Exactly.
like got to get the deadline met. So
We probably should mention this magazine is for our members. So Creative Pro has a lot of content on the website that's open to the public, but we also have a lot more resources for membership. And the magazine is one of the premier resources that's offered for members.
right, yeah, it's not just the magazine. So there's a large number. There's over 100 downloadable files that you can get as a member. So there are things like InDesign templates, Photoshop, Illustrator templates, um, graphic design resources that we get some amazing stuff that Kat Kremser puts together in Illustrator for us with patterns and symbols and spotches and whatnot. And we're going to continue building out more and more stuff for
We
members as
have
well.
plans. We
Yes, we
can't
do.
share exactly what they are because
They're
there's
not, yeah, they're not released yet, but yes,
they're
there's,
gonna happen. It's just amazing the amount of back end, foundational setup that needs to be done to get these resources in a way that we can share them with everybody.
mhm,
So, just sharing that we have some really big plans for our membership resources. You've already added one new resource since Creative Pro Week. You did a session about community. How do we keep this love and feel of community going after Creative Pro Week?
yeah.
So yeah, share with that about your office hours that you're having and what your goals are for that, and also how
Yeah.
people find it. I was struggling to find it myself, so
So
I'm
yeah,
excited.
so there's two things there. So one is the recording of my session that I did at Creative Pro Week that I was really really excited about doing that.
It was awesome. I was there.
Thank you. I know you were. That was fantastic having you in the audience. But like I said on stage for that one, the idea for that session like just popped into my head like almost fully formed. It just like lightning bolt kind of came to me. I was like, I really want to do this, like, because it just felt important. And the overall gist of it was like Creative Pro Week is this awesome transcendent experience for a lot of people, but it's only 1 week. And it's like, how do you actually sustain that? How do you like make
Mhm.
habits and build things into your routine to capture a little bit of that Creative Pro Week feeling for the other 51 weeks of the year? That felt like a mission to me.
We have that conversation all the time. Just
Yeah,
wanted to put that out. This is something that you and I are really passionate about. We're constantly thinking, how do we keep that
yeah.
energy going the whole year?
Yeah, because you don't want to let it go. When
No.
you get, you're packing up your suitcase and heading out, and your head's just swimming with all this amazing stuff and these conversations you have with people, you're like, I don't want this to end. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to wait until next year to have this thing again. So yeah, that was what was behind that. So members can watch the video of that entire session on the website. And the other thing that, again, trying to capture that feeling of community and connection and discussion is office hours. So now we've started doing office hours on a monthly basis. The standard default schedule is going to be the second Friday of each month at
Mm,
3 p.m. Eastern. And that will sometimes get preempted. Like if we have an event that's going on at that time or there's other
sure.
conflicts, we'll bump it. But second Friday of every month is going to be the default.
Is there a
And
schedule someplace on the Creative Pro website?
there is a page called, it's just creativepro.com/office hours.
Okay, we'll put that in the show notes so it's easy
Yeah.
to find.
Yeah, that's just going to be the standard place. Like if you're signed in as a member, you'll see the link that you can click
Mhm.
to join in the session and whatnot. Um, but it's as you know, I mean, you've been there. It's a really casual conversation. Like there's not like any pop quizzes or anything like that. It's just like, hey, where are you calling in from? What do you do? Like, and just trying to connect people with answers and with each other.
That happened in the last one, and I love to see that. There
Right?
were several members that came with specific InDesign questions, and there
Yep.
were other members who had answers for them.
Yeah.
So they connected and shared contact information, and that's what it's about, is making those connections.
Yeah.
We can't.
It's such a valuable thing because like you and I, we're both in this spot where it's like, oh, what's the scope of what you cover? Like everything everywhere all at once, right?
Yeah,
Like, okay.
exactly.
But and nobody can know that. Nobody knows
Right.
everything. But the people in the session do this specific niche stuff every day, and so they can answer each other's questions and offer advice and insight that you and I can't. So I thought that was wonderful when people are exchanging email addresses and
It was.
offering up stuff. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool.
I applaud you for getting this started. I have similar plans for, well, similar different plans for extending that member community online. And I'm just going to tease with that because we do have some work to do to get it put in place, but I'm really excited about it. Really
I am
carrying this community, this connection through the whole year, not just Creative Pro Week. Not everybody can attend Creative Pro Week in person either. So we want to, broaden it so that more people feel like they are connected.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. When you're freed up from that exact time and space, and you can like watch things on demand, or participate next week or next month, it's good.
Yep, exactly. I'm looking at my notes now to see what else we wanted to cover because we have so much going on right now, Mike. It's exciting. Do you ever feel overwhelmed? Yesterday, I was feeling overwhelmed. I'll just be honest. There was so many things going on.
Of course, of course, of course. You know what I do? I just like walk away from the laptop, go around, go for a walk outside. Clear the head, couple deep breaths, and refocus from that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I realized where I went wrong yesterday. I like to do that. I walk every morning, but I also like to spend about 20 minutes mid morning and doing a meditation. Just
Hmm.
close my eyes and just let the world fall away. And then after that, I'm really focused. Yesterday, I got so wrapped up in responding to emails and having conversations that I completely forgot to do that. And at the end of the day, I realized what a difference my day is if I take that time to just, be present for a few minutes. So
Yeah,
that's one of my go-tos for staying calm and present.
that's a great habit.
I wanted to talk a little bit about what's coming up with events because that's my role and responsibility as a program manager. So you're managing all the content, really all of Creative Pro's content aside from the events themselves. And I'm managing the content for the events. And we do a lot of events. I don't know if everybody's aware of how many events we do every year. Most people are aware of Creative Pro Week, which is our signature event, which it happens in person, but there's also the hybrid online community that can attend as well. We already have Creative Pro Week 2026 on the calendar for next year. It'll be in Nashville.
Hmm.
Um, it's the first week of July. Actually, I think
It straddles June and July.
straddles, yeah, because Saturday, July 4th is the day that after that it ends.
Yep.
But we have three more events still coming up this year. I got the dates here. Design and accessibility is the next one. So I'm working hard on that one right now, collecting the assets from the speakers for that. And that'll be September 16th through the 19th. So this is everything accessibility, which is a really hot topic because there are laws governing our content is required to be accessible. So we've got 4 full days of content, and it covers the gamut from accessible documents, remediating PDFs, web accessibility, social media accessibility, um, closed caption, all the things you need to know. September 16th through the 19th. And then the next one after that is design and AI. Oh, Mike, you and I could have we could talk for an hour just about our thoughts on AI, couldn't we?
Absolutely. Yeah,
That'd
we
be a
should
rabbit hole to
sometime.
go down. So it's so overwhelming. It's both exciting and overwhelming. But that's why we're bringing this Design and AI Summit to you. My goal for this program was to create content that shows you how. It doesn't just say, "Hey, isn't this really cool? Look what you can do," but really, how could you use it in your real world workflow to improve the quality of your work and speed up the time that it takes to produce content? That's November 13th and 14th. And then to end the year, we have the InDesign conference, which is really the heart of our audience and the content. We came from Creative Pro, came out of an InDesign focused community. So we wanted to put together an event that's really a deep dive into in InDesign. And that's December 9th through the 12th. And Mike, you and I are both speaking at that as well.
Indeed, we are. I'm super excited about that again because it takes me full circle. My first speaking gig was at the InDesign conference in 2008. So just having a branded event
Yeah.
called the InDesign conference just brings out the nostalgia and lots of good memories.
My first time presenting for the Creative Pro community was PepCon when it was in San Diego. I think that was 2016.
I think so. Yeah.
And I talked about something that doesn't even exist anymore. Remember the comp, Adobe Comp? It
Yep.
was a iPad app.
Hmm.
It was really kind of like InDesign Lite on the iPad. And Adobe stopped supporting it, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did a little bit of content, but like you said, it kind of fizzled out. I don't know if it never really found its audience or its way, but yeah, I do
I
remember.
I have been very interested and very a vocal um, ambassador for mobile apps for
Mhm.
since they came out, and I use them but not I wasn't really using Adobe Comp. I like creative stuff. You can see from my walls back here. Those of you that are watching the video can see my walls filled with pictures back here. So I love Fresco. That's my favorite Adobe mobile app, and Lightroom, of course, because I'm sure you're using Lightroom too, Mike.
Lightroom is my favorite app on my phone. Actually, like I don't
Oh,
have like social media anymore or anything. So like if I'm picking up my phone, it's basically to like call or text or read email or work in Lightroom. That's all I
yep.
do, you know, and I love it.
It you can do everything on your phone. All the professional editing tools that you would do on a desktop with Lightroom or Lightroom Classic, you can do on your phone. It's mind blowing, really
And
mind blowing.
the
I'd
results
be
are great.
curious if our audience wants more Lightroom content because I would like to deliver more Lightroom content. But there's constantly the question of, how interested are you? Are you using Lightroom? Would you like to know more? So reach
Yep.
out to me. Let me know your thoughts on that
We
because we
we have
love
some
talking.
great instructors who could produce content for us on
We
Lightroom
have
just
it. Yeah, there's a
just
number of
at
us
the
that are
ready. Yep.
very passionate about Lightroom. What else is on your radar, Mike? What have you been paying attention to?
Well, just before that, I want to go back one step when I didn't want to interrupt you when you were talking about the upcoming events, just a sort of crossover with the
Yeah.
office hours. So the next one is Design and Accessibility Summit, and we're going to have a special guest in the next
Ooh.
office hours who is one of the presenters at.
This is news to me. Breaking news.
Yeah, have the breaking news thing going on. But yeah, I just found out yesterday that he's going to be able to show up. So
Oh, God, that's fantastic. Thanks,
yeah,
Mike.
yes, it's another little chance to have for folks to have a conversation with the people that make the content for us.
We just ran our free webinar for the Accessibility Summit, and it was awesome. I don't know if you were able to attend it, but Dax was the presenter of the session, and he was in the chat during the webinar, and he was just responding to questions left and right. And then we spent about 20 minutes in Q&A afterwards. The audience was really engaged in asking great questions. So that's something that Creative Pro does too, is we offer these free webinars. So be on the lookout for those. The next one is a free webinar with Amy Ballier for the Design and AI Summit. We're replaying her video and AI session from Creative Pro Week for that webinar.
That was my favorite session of all of Creative Pro Week. Was Amy's AI video
How did
session.
you feel? I mean, be honest. Like, what was going through your head when you were watching it?
It was. I gotta admit, it was like a little disorienting. It's just like okay, like there's these tools now where it's going to be harder and harder to discern what's real and what's fake, and that's a really super complicated issue that goes beyond design, like for
Mhm.
the world to wrestle with the legitimacy of content. A lot of times when I was on Instagram, I would see some image and people would be like, wow, look at this. And I would have to be like the Debbie Downer and just go, yeah, it's AI. Like it doesn't, it doesn't really exist. So there's an uneasiness about that I felt when I was watching her session. But at the same time, it was just miraculous in a way. Like things that would take an entire recording studio and staff and just unbelievable resources now is in people's hands that you can
Yeah.
prompt and make. It's
I,
and Amy's
I,
on top of it all. So
I'd like to add to that because she did an exceptional job putting the content together. She also created some really amazing video clips to teach us what these tools could do, and that she could do because she knows video. If you and I mean, I don't have that much video experience. I don't believe that I could create the same quality of video content with AI that she can because she's really knowledgeable about video. She knows how to tell a story. She
mhm.
knows about camera angles. She knows how to set up a scene. She knows how to describe a scene. So that gives me some comfort when I think about AI, that fear that AI will replace creatives. No, the most creative people are that are already creative are doing the most creative stuff with AI. So, yeah, I was kind of feeling very mixed about all of that after watching her session, but that's what I fell back to. She did an incredible job because of how skilled and knowledgeable she is about video
Hmm.
and AI. She's making it her mission to know everything she can know about AI.
Right. Yeah, and you're so right to draw that out, because just because it only does take a few sentences of a prompt, you have
Yeah,
to know the vocabulary. You have to know what it is that you're trying to talk about and speak that language already. And she does.
right,
Uh, it reminds me of the thing when you would hire some like super high end designer to design a logo for you, and they would design it in like 15 minutes, and they would charge you this enormous amount. And it's like they're not charging you for the 15 minutes; they're charging you for the 30 years of their career that they
right.
know how to make a logo in just 15 minutes. Like the expertise, that's the foundation of all of that, and that's kind of, I think, what you're talking about with
Yeah.
Amy and the video stuff.
Yeah, especially for video. And I think it's true for the photo imaging AI as well. The better you can describe and visualize in your head what you're trying to accomplish, the better results you're going to get from AI.
Yeah.
The challenge what I'm struggling with is I like to obsess. I'll just say it. I do. That's a happy place for me. I like being in Photoshop at the pixel level, obsessing over every little thing. I get lost. It's a flow state for me. And so I'm not really excited about AI speeding up my workflow
Mm.
because I like that it takes me a long time. So I don't know how to reconcile that for myself. Do you struggle with that too?
Well, yeah, because like we like the craft. Like
Yeah,
we would not be in these jobs if we didn't like spending the time, putting in the hours, like playing in Photoshop, playing in InDesign. And it's different now, It's, if it's going in a direction where you just describe what you want instead of actually doing it, that's a very different way to spend your time. So yeah, I do wrestle with a lot of that. One thing that I can say I'm 100% legitimately excited about in the realm of AI is this set of plugins called Mate,
mhm,
MATE, for InDesign, Illustrator, Figma, and the developers working on it for other programs as well. And it just connects the apps to the different AI models. So you can tell it to talk to ChatGPT or Claude or all the other different things, and with it you can write JavaScripts. So it's taken that amazing power of scripting, which not a lot of people can become really great JavaScripters. It takes a lot of time and effort and a certain mindset of liking writing scripts. It takes that out of there, and now people like you and I can do it. It's like I know what I want InDesign to do. There's
yeah,
not really a feature that does that, but now I can describe it and even make things like I can make dialog boxes that I can
it's
fill in
amazing.
with information and tell InDesign to do stuff.
It's like you're building an app inside of an app.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And I mean,
again,
it's not, it's not just like push button. There's experimenting and
mhm,
iteration and trial and error and stuff like that. But it honestly had me legitimately more excited to use InDesign than I felt in years and years. And for
but
me,
I'm
that
gonna
is the
go
promise.
back to what you said. You know what you want InDesign to do, right?
Mhm.
So that tool, that Mate tool, is only as good as your knowledge of what it is you're trying to make happen.
Yep.
If you don't know what InDesign, if you don't understand InDesign to begin with, and you don't know what it's capable of doing, or you don't know where the shortcomings are, or have ideas about how you could speed up your workflow, then Mate's not going to be helpful for you. So
Right.
it's building on that foundation of knowledge.
Absolutely. Yep.
There's an article, you didn't mention that. The magazine has an article about Mate.
Thank you. Yeah, there is. In issue 46, there's Jean-Claude Tremblay wrote an amazing article on Mate, mostly for InDesign. And there'll be more content coming for it on Mate for sure from us.
Have you been following what Rob DeWinter's doing with his stuff for Photoshop?
I have. It's funny you mention it because the October feature article, spoiler alert, is going to be by Rob
Oh,
DeWinter.
oh, fantastic. Yeah, I've been following his posts on LinkedIn, and
Hmm.
he I'll try and describe this for the audience. I don't know that I understand it well enough to fully describe it, but he's created, I don't know if it's a plugin or a script or a combination of both, but he's bringing Flux, the Flux model, into Photoshop and using Flux to describe what he wants an image to be. So how that's different than Firefly. So Firefly, for example, you could like you could select somebody's shirt and say, put stripes on it or something, and Firefly will do that. But this is allowing him to say, I have a scene. Well, here's an example of when he did. There's two dogs sitting, looking at a lake right next to each other, and he circles it and he says, take one dog and make it a panda, but don't change any of the rest of the scene.
Yeah.
And it does it perfectly.
And it did it. Yeah. I saw
So
that. Yeah.
I again, Mike, I don't know how to feel about it. I commented in his post that, but I like using masking and painting my masks and obsessing over the pixels.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it.
And you still can. A lot of times when I would have mixed feelings about generative AI stuff, I would remind myself of a difference between art and design, or between, art and commerce. Like if we're
Mhm.
if we're using this stuff because you're making a deadline, you're making an ad for something or some other sort of commercial product, it's not like you want to put less care into it, but it just has a different, to me, it has a different soul than if it's something that I'm putting up on my wall, like the things you have behind you, that's just a
Yeah,
pure reflection of, what your creative forces want to bring into the world, like for no other purpose than itself. Like,
I love that.
um so I draw a line between design and art that way.
Yeah.
And if it's just making an ad, or things like that, go for it. Like that's an amazing tool to be able to wield. So
That's super helpful for me. Um, Rob just recently made that plugin script, whatever it is, available to the public, so we can add a link in the show notes for that. And
mm,
I would love to hear some. What do you guys think? What are Is this working for you? Does it get you excited? Yeah, I'm
yeah,
really curious about that.
yeah, maybe I'll bring it up at the next office hours too, and see if people have had a chance to watch his demos and
Yeah.
get their
He
take
is
on it.
doing a session at the Design and AI Summit, so I expect to see some of that in his session for that. You also mentioned AI and this challenge of knowing what's real and what's not. We have an AI expert giving a session on fake, determining what's fake and how you do that. So I'm really looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, it's important.
Awesome. Well, we should probably wrap this up, Mike. You and I could talk all day. Sometimes we have these conversations and they go on and on, but
Yeah.
we should probably wrap this up. Is there any last things that we meant to talk about? That Anything else you want to share
I'll
that's
just
coming
I
up?
can just mention very very quickly what I'm working on for the next issue of
Yeah.
CreativePro Magazine, which I'm very excited about. So I'm doing the feature article myself on it, and it's an adaptation, whatever, but from one of the sessions I did at Creative Pro Week on wielding the power of scripts. So just tons and tons of resources on where to find scripts, how to make them with the help of AI, and then even if you need a bigger automated solution than what an individual script can accomplish, how to approach a developer and create a real automated solution. So I was really excited about that, because as I wrote in the intro to the article, like if you took my entire 30-year career in this business and asked me like what is your number one top tip that you could ever offer anybody, it would be to use scripts whenever you can, because you'll just get so much more power and efficiency out of that. So I was really happy
That's
to write that
gold,
article.
Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that says so much. That's your number one tip. Learn,
I
find
think
the
so.
way
Yeah,
to.
that's
Yeah.
the mic drop.
Yeah. That's a great place to wrap this up. So thank you,
Awesome.
everybody, for being here and listening. And we will include links in the show notes. And if you're not a Creative Pro member, yeah, there's no excuse. It's not expensive.
Join us. Join us.
Yeah, join us. We'd love to have you. All
Yeah.
right. Till next time.